In this video, I'm going to show you why it's important to get clear on your finances and create a survival budget to live on after your role has been made redundant. Welcome to the channel. My name is Jane Frey, career coach for professionals who are ready to take the next step up in their career. If you've just arrived here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. So being out of work, particularly for an extended period of time, can cause considerable financial hardship. It's essential that what you do is create a budget for you and your family to live by whilst you're out of work. I'll also give you a few tips in this video to make sure that your money can go further and last longer should you need it. So money itself can stir up a number of emotions, both positive and negative. And these are really heightened, or these emotions are really heightened when we're out of work. So it's essential that you get a handle on this as soon as you possibly can. Some of the money mistakes that I see people who are out of work make is that they keep living the same lifestyle that they lived on when they had a regular income coming in. Other mistakes people make is that they blow their severance package on things that they feel that they deserve, like a holiday or a new car or the latest laptop. And sometimes what I see is people going into denial. What they do is they take too long before they seriously begin their search. And what they do is they don't prepare a survival budget or a spending plan. It's essential that when you are preparing a spending plan, you've got the agreement of all other family members. There's got to be complete honesty about what you're all spending at this time. You can't hide any expenses. You have to, as a family, get everything out in the open. So let's start by having a look at some of the essential versus the non-essential items. So what I always suggest is begin by listing all of your expenses under those two headings of essential and non-essential. So essential items are just that, things that you absolutely must have, and includes things like your mortgage, your rent, your council tax, any utilities like your gas, your water, electric. And I believe that when you're looking for work, things like the telephone and the internet are essential spend for job seekers. So that's why I would certainly include them here. Things like a car and associated payments like that, such as maintenance and insurance, are essential for some job seekers, particularly to get to interviews, and especially if there is a lack of public transport where you live. Another essential expenditure are things like food, but what you might want to do is change the type of food that you buy. So consider starting to make a lot more meals from scratch. Not only is it cheaper to prepare food this way, but you also know exactly what it is that's in your dish. The non-essential items that you need to reduce when you're in survival mode include things like eating out. This is actually really expensive, and if you're making more meals at home, this is an area where it's really easy to reduce your spend. So what I do every week, even to this day, is my husband and I create a menu for the week, and then we go and shop only for those items that are on the list. Other non-essential items are second cars, so really question if you need to maintain more than one car. Maybe you live somewhere that's very remote, so actually you do need two cars, or maybe you've got a number of children who need to be in different places at different times of day, so you and your partner, you obviously need a car each to keep the family running, as it were. Really ask yourself if a second car is absolutely essential, or whether it's just a convenience. So clothing is another one. You do need to look good for interviews and networking meetings when you're out and about meeting people. So you may need to shop for some selective items. The key word here is selective items. So only buy those items that you truly need. Gym membership is an interesting one. It's often a waste of money as people pay their membership each month and they rarely go. When I was out of work, I made allowances for my gym membership in my survival budget as I felt it was really important for me to stay fit fit and healthy. It was also a great way to get out of the house every day. Only keep it if you actually use it. And the same thing goes for other club fees, like, tennis club fees or golf club fees. So identify other areas of unnecessary spend that you could put on hold whilst you're looking for work. Remember, this is not a permanent solution. This is a temporary survival budget. So the more savings that you can make now, the longer you can take to find your next role. So in terms of understanding your finances, you need to create a true picture of your financial situation. So understand exactly what money you have available to you. So this can include things like severance pay. In the UK, there is a tax-free element to severance pay. After that, you will be liable for tax, but do check the rules and legislation about that at the time you're watching this video, because they do change. Think about some savings that you might have easily accessible to you. There might be other money that you have coming in as well, so things like money from a rental property, for example, or some pension payments that you might be eligible for. You might be entitled to some unemployment benefits, so find out what they are, as they can make a real difference. In terms of immediate income, if this is not enough to cover your essential expenses, then you may need to bring in some income immediately. So you could consider doing things like temporary work or some fixed-term contract consulting work, but just be aware of how that might impact your tax implications, your severance agreement, and any unemployment benefit that you might be eligible for. Being engaged in things like temporary work or consulting work or temporary jobs is a great way to increase your skill set. It's also a brilliant way to network with future employers. So very often, temporary jobs do become permanent, so you might actually secure yourself another role much quicker than you initially thought. So the next thing to do then is to compare your outgoings to your income. Once you've got a true picture of your financial situation, your stress levels will actually reduce. You'll be able to start to look objectively at other outgoings, and I suggest at this stage you go through your expenditure one more time just to see if there is anything else that you could reduce temporarily or eliminate completely at this stage. The question that I always ask my friends is, do you really need that Netflix subscription? The Sky Sports subscription, unlimited phone minutes, the daily latte, or any other guilty pleasures that you might have. Again, remember, this is just for now, it's not forever. When you secure a new role or you start a new business, you can start to bring these little luxuries back into your life. But in the meantime, the smaller you can make your expenditure right now, the longer you can take to look for a role. So to help you with this, just go on Google and find any budget planner. Just list all of your income and all of your outgoings, work methodically through it, and this will help you to highlight any areas of spending that you can reduce or cut out altogether. So in summary, go through all of your income and outgoings with all members of your family and start to create a survival budget. Start living on your survival budget now. The longer that you can make your redundancy money last, the longer you can take to find your next role. If you found this useful, then please do click on that like button and share this with anybody who you feel would get some value from this. And don't forget to subscribe for future episodes. My name is Jane Foray, Executive Career Coach, and I'll see you on the next video.